Alright, good morning everyone. I got a lot of stuff to do today, so we're going to start bright and early for January 2022's pickups today. Get right down to it, because there is a theme to some of these. Like, it looks like there's a lot of games, and then there's a bunch of them that just like grabbed all at once to fit this theme. So we're going to start off with some GameBoy Advance. This is one that doesn't fit the theme here. But I, oddly enough, have grabbed a bunch of, like, complete Game Boy Advance games because they've been cheap and somewhat interesting. There's a bunch of Hot Wheels games on the Game Boy Advance. This is Hot Wheels All Out, which I don't know if it's going to be, like, the best of them for sure. But I don't have any of these Hot Wheels games. And actually, like, I do really like the Hot Wheels games. The 64 one is really good. I wish it had more stuff in it. And I have some memories from playing some of them as a kid. I really want the new Hot Wheels one, Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is supposed to be really, really good. But this one looks cool. It was a cheap, complete one. A weird amount of complete Game Boy games, which I never thought I'd be buying, but anyway. The other two games for the Game Boy Advance this month do fit the theme that I just kind of went pinball crazy. Most pinball games are fairly cheap, and I really like them, and I've started to stream some of them. If you've seen them on my YouTube, they'll might be in the relateds, or just click on my channel. I've done a couple lately. So two of these fit that bill. There's Pinball Tycoon and Pac-Man Pinball. Pac-Man Pinball is nothing special, it's just two Pac-Man themed tables that are alright. Pinball Tycoon I haven't actually played yet, but it is a very misleading game. Because Tycoon implies that there's some sort of simulation aspect to them, and there's really none of that. It's just the name of it. It would have been cool if you had like an arcade to run full of pinball tables, but that is something that a game that I have pre-ordered will have in it, so that'll be cool. This is just four original tables. Nothing too special. I haven't even played it yet. I don't even know if they're good, but it was not expensive. Continuing on that, let's get basically things I bought for two different systems this month entirely fit that bill. Like, I bought 5 PS1 games. They're all pinball games because they were like dirt cheap. We have 3 of the 4 pro pinball titles from Interplay and Empire, or from Take-Two and Empire, actually, the later ones. This one, I believe, these ones you have one table each, which I can imagine is why they're not that sought after. So, Pro Pinball, this one is actually called The Web, is like the name of the table. It's like internet themed. It's like, came out originally in like 1996 too, so we'll see how that's aged. A Fantastic Journey, this one actually looks really cool. Out of all the Pro Pinball ones, I think this one looks really cool. Time Shock, the one that I didn't get this month and will pick up as soon as I see it. That one though does look probably almost as cool. And Big Race USA, nothing special about these one table pinball titles that are really cheap. I mean, you could almost say the same thing about this one, except that it's Austin Powers, which is wacky and crazy and cool. Yeah, there's 2 tables in this, based on one on each of the movies that was out by that point, the original and Spy Who Shagged Me, and it's just funny because it's Austin Powers. And then we have from EA, we have Extreme Pinball, which has 4 tables on it, 4 original tables that actually look pretty cool. This is the one that I probably have the highest hopes for being some really good quality stuff. So I haven't gotten around to playing any of these yet, but I grabbed 5 whole pinball games for the PS1, and that's all I bought for PS1 games. And then to finish off pinball games, one NES game, which I have not bought an NES game in a long, long time, Rock'n Ball, which has, I think, 2 or 3 tables on it. It doesn't look half bad. Got my eyes out for Rollerball from HAL, which is supposed to be some good stuff. Now let's jump on the Switch stuff. I got 5 games for the Switch this month. There's one coming out today that will be in the next pickups video. That is a pretty big one. Very excited. Let's start with Taxi Chaos. This is the dirt cheap from GS2 shovelware producers or bargain bin game producers, but Taxi Chaos, being a Crazy Taxi clone, I knew I'd pick this up when it was really cheap, and that time was now. I just got it yesterday actually, so I haven't played it yet, but like I'm going to try a Crazy Taxi clone no matter what. Like, so that's my entire justification for that. We have Indivisible, which is a lot of the Switch games I buy. They are 2D styled retro games, and it makes it so hard for me to pick them like when I want to play a new game, because I don't want to say they're all the same game, but they look so similar, and I can't pick one out of the pile. And I keep doing this to myself. I keep buying more games like this. So Indivisible, 2D, I think sort of a Metroidvania style, but it's got RPG, and it says RPG action and platforming. It has a really, really nice art style and sound design from what I've heard. I've been looking to grab this game for a while, actually. And this one, like, again, 2D style. This is Alwa's collection. Two games. I believe these were kickstarted, is what I heard. The first one, at least. These are very NES styled, but they're very cool. It looks like they're trying to pull off a lot of like Celeste vibes in them, but there's also like you're a wizard, and yeah, this is a Metroidvania, and yeah, I like you keep doing this. It's so constant. You get stickers with this. I've heard really good things about these games, so I really did want to get these when they came out on a physical package. It's two of them. Ghostrunner. Alright, so not like that at all. This is sort of like if Mirror's Edge was just like a full like one after the other challenge. It's first person parkour platforming. At first I heard that this one wasn't great on Switch, but I think that they've patched it, and this it looks hella cool. Like, it looks like really good like art design, and or just a really cool vibe with this like cyberpunk setting and stuff. So this is actually I'm actually really looking forward to this. And then lastly, we got the big old collector's edition for a game called Unruly Heroes, which is another 2D style beat 'em up type of game. This is from a company that we actually just got started getting games from at work, called Pix and Love. They're a publisher from France. And unlike some of the other publishers that we have, like VG and Ysoft, I will not be buying every game from them, but I did really want to buy something. And this game didn't actually originally sell me when I watched the trailer, because it looked like so many games that I had been buying before. So we have a standard edition. It just comes, it looks like this. But the collector's edition really sold me, because it is a great looking collector's edition. Like, this is some beautiful stuff in here. We have a soundtrack on a really thin, really thin CD package, but it fits in here really nice. COA. This is 424 out of 1500 numbered. That's very cool. We have art cards, double-sided art cards. They look really, really nice. And we have a really, really well done art book here. And it's more than just an art book, because it's got a lot of developer notes and things like that. A lot of interviews and just a really good book. Like, this is worth sitting down and reading once I've played the game. So yeah, definitely caught my eye and couldn't say no to this. We have many games from Pix and Love right now at the store. What they're mostly getting is actually a lot of SNK licenses, so they're getting the rights to publish SNK titles on the Switch and PS4, and they're looking really good. They got to do Neo Geo Pocket Selection in a cheaper variant than Limited Run. They also got to do some PS4 copies of like King of Fighters and Garamark of the Wolves, I think, that were in old style like AES cartridge cases. They were really gorgeous. And Samurai Showdown collection, which includes 7 titles, the first 4 of them, and then 3 versions of 5, which is really nice. So yeah, check those guys out. I think they have a Metal Slug, 2 Metal Slug versions coming up too. So that's very exciting, actually. One PS5 game, MLB The Show 21. I really had a hankering to play the show, for one thing, and I really wanted to try and test out the horsepower on my PS5 to see if it was any good. I thought I was gonna actually be playing like Road to the Show, mostly, but the mode that caught my eye was actually March to October, which is essentially all I've ever wanted from a baseball game. When you consider the baseball games, the seasons are 162 games for a full season. March to October is sort of an accelerated season mode that is all I ever really wanted. So it puts you in like key moments and key games from the season and bases your performance of that to kind of determine your momentum going forward. It lets you boost player stats and hot streaks and things like that. I suck at it. I'm really, really bad. But the show is as good as ever, though. So that's good. Just one PS3 game. It's not a good one. It's Aliens Colonial Marines. I've been watching. For the first time, I watched Alien and Aliens last week. Brilliant stuff, really good. They've both aged tremendously well. Really hold up. And I'm actually going to try and watch Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection because I got all 4 of those on Blu-ray. But was not like, rushing to watch those like I was with the first 2. But because it's still really cheap, Aliens Colonial Marines was worth a pickup. It's not going to be the fixed version like somebody did to fix the AI in the PC version, but something I had. Something I wanted to grab because it was still cheap. Monster House for the GameCube. I do like Monster House a lot. It's very, very spooky and very creative, and I think it's really pretty solid, underrated. I want to say underrated, but I think a lot of people really do appreciate it if they've seen it. And the game, it gives off like almost like not a survival horror vibe because it's not that dark or scary, but it's got the spooky vibes to it. I thought it was cool, worth a pickup. And then we'll end on some PS4 titles. Velocity 2X, shoot 'em up with shoot 'em up puzzle platforming stuff. Really good indie looking title from the same publisher at least that does Axiom Verge, so that's pretty reassuring. I like that. This one comes with a soundtrack, book and a soundtrack. Much more of a package than you get from anything else. Slay the Spire. I had my eye on Slay the Spire for the Switch for a long time, and I didn't come across it, and the price on it didn't seem to go down. It just seemed like it was slowly, very surely creeping up. And instead of pulling the trigger on a Switch one before it got any higher, the PS4 version and the Xbox One version are very, very cheap. They're like $10. I don't know what it is. I assume that, collector for the Switch and the portability of it, it really makes sense for this game, but I was interested in it, but I'm not like gonna be obsessed with this game unless I start playing it, and it just really takes for me. So maybe I'll upgrade to a Switch version, but to try it out, $10 for a PS4 version, not bad. We've got this Disco Elysium, the Final Cut, PS4. Had to have this as soon as I saw it come in at work. I've been really wanting to get Disco Elysium, but it's an expensive download for the Switch, and it has this fairly limited I Am 8-Bit release physical, so I hadn't really gone out of my way for it or anything like that, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about this, tone and story-wise especially, just not like a lot of other stuff, so I really, really had to have this. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really definitely looking forward to it soon. And then we'll cap off with Neverending Nightmares. This is a game I grabbed from Limited Run, sort of end of the year clearance sale where they get rid of a lot of the extra stock that they keep on hand for issues and replacements and whatnot. This was on my Switch eShop wish list for a while because it is a psychological horror type of thing with a really unique art style, and yeah, I definitely saw it and I said I really would like to play that. I don't know if I'm going to be prepared for it when I actually get around to it, but seeing it, the physical on the limited run sale, I was like, yep, I'm going to grab that version of it. And that's it. Cool. Good to get this out of the way. I've got Xena for the 64 coming up later today, and also Pokemon Arceus is coming out, which it looks fantastic, and there's a snowstorm this weekend, so I'm gonna have a lot of time to play that and really get really into that game. I'm very excited. So yeah, thanks for watching, and check out Xena and whatever else happens for the 64 stuff, and I'll see you later.